just crazy. Cancel. Okay. All right. So I think I got things sorted around, but I'm not sure. It's disconnected. No, that's up. Speakers are on. Okay. Here. Close. I have no idea whether this is open or not. I'm going live. I'm live in the stream. Who knows? Who knows? Well, I'm just going to take another minute here and fix something that I want to use. Okay. I'm going to make this really narrow. Right. All right, I'm going to, I'm not sure I'm not sure the sound is on. Can't tell. Oops. So, right. Kayla, you jinxed me. It's all I can say. And I'm just going to go ahead with this and hope that it comes through. And if not, then my apologies, because I'm just having a terrible time with Ecamm. It is causing massive problems with the sound system, and I cannot figure out what it is. And this has happened before, but anyway, let me just check on a couple of other things. Okay. Right. So it is now 1:17, and I am going live with this keynote concert, and I'm going to start as soon as it hits 1:20, so I get a clear timing on it. Everything was working fine, and then it wasn't. So I'm going to brighten up this a bit. Yeah. I'm going to take my glasses off. Can I do that? Yeah, I think I can. I think I can. Well, I hope you're all doing well, and I'm not sure anybody is on here at all. But I could not use Ecamm as soon as I plugged it in. I'm wondering if it will work if I unplug the connections and just do it with Ecamm without any sound on the. I'll try that. Okay. All right. So it's something to do with that little guy. But it's now not running. That's very weird. Yeah. Why is this not running? Hello, hello. Nope, there it goes. There it goes. Okay. Okay, I've tried Ecamm 100 times. It doesn't work. And so I'm just going to go to, I'm just going to go start. It is 1:19, so just, there we go. Hello, it's lovely to see you. My name is Catherine Mary Thompson, and my talk is about apprenticeships. It's called Hands-on Education for Real-World People, and the setup story I'm going to be telling is Swing Daddy. Now, I've worn many hats: dancer, performer, choreographer, teacher, and storyteller. I was director of an art school, a board member, president of an international organization, and a vice president principal. And today I'm a speaker, storyteller, singer, songwriter, and poet. And for almost 50 years, I was a dancer. For 5 of those years, an apprentice dance teacher. Artists learn their skills from others who have mastered the needed skills, as do apprentices. I'll start with a salute to the great generation, the cohort that came through the Great Depression. Mom was born in 1913 in the village of Victoria Harbour on Georgian Bay. Her high school went to grade 10, and her Franco-Ontarian father, my Grandpa Godot, could not afford to have her board at a bigger urban centre to finish high school, and he would not have her go into service in the home of an Anglo merchant. So he moved the family to Hamilton in 1929. Grandpa had been a lumberman, harvesting trees in the winter, driving logs down rivers and streams to the bay and into one of the 4 sawmills where he worked all summer. The mills burned down once in a while from time to time, once burning out the center of town. And he worked with skilled carpenters, and he helped to rebuild and was on the crew to frame the Martyrs' Shrine in Midland. So he moved to Hamilton as a carpenter, and it took a while, but he did find work, and eventually he was the head of the Carpenters Union there for 30 years. Mom was hired by Carol's Cash and Carry at 16. In September 1929, the stock market crashed. The Great Depression began. School was out of the question, so Mom continued to work. She learned by doing, and in a few years, she was the manager. When Mom left Carol's Cash and Carry at the end of the Depression, she was making $13.50 a week as the manager. Dad was born in 1914 in the town of Ancaster. At his collegiate in nearby Hamilton, he became a crack rifle shot, coached by the legendary Cap Cornelius. Dad won a scholarship. He won a Commonwealth competition, which included a scholarship and to the Royal Military College. So Cap Cornelius also taught music and directed the marching band. From old photos, you can see that Dad played the French horn in the marching band, but he must have played other instruments because he graduated in 1913 into the Great Depression, so no university. He joined a 10-piece swing band as the upright bass player. The band played in Hamilton, the GTA, and cottage country. Now, Mom's scrapbook has lady night programs showing the band playing for dancing. I asked her if she had heard him play before they met. Oh, I knew who he was. Mom, you were a groupie. The band had a lot of fun, and according to Dad's little black book, he was the band's social convener. So Dad made $10 a gig in the band, and all but his expenses went to his mother to help raise his sister and his much younger brother. His upright bass traveled on top of the band car, and one night in a storm, the wind was so strong it blew his bass fiddle off the car and smashed it to bits. And there was no money to replace it, which put an end to his music career. So Dad delivered bread. He learned insurance sales, which he abandoned, and trained to be a locomotive fireman engineman on the Toronto, Hamilton, Buffalo Railroad. Most didn't marry in the Depression, as their families needed whatever they could contribute. My parents and in-laws both married in 1939 when it was finally over. Mom and Dad moved to St. Thomas to the New York Central, for the New York Central. And I should say for work on the New York Central. My father-in-law was on the CEO, American Lines, that ran through southwestern Ontario. As engineers, neither my dad nor my father-in-law were allowed to enlist. They drove trains for the supplies and forces needed in World War II, and both became leaders in their unions. Dad no longer played, but music stayed with him all his life. Many years later, when he was the general chairman of the union over the Canadian and four American divisions, Mom and Dad went to a union event in the States. At one point, Dad went to the quintet that was playing and asked to sit in. At first they were reluctant, but he asked again, and they let him sit in for one song. He played that upright bass as if all the years had fallen away, and they let him sit in for the entire set. Mom took a Polaroid to show us, and it's the one photo I don't have. So I wrote this song, the first one on my EP Cool Cat. It's called Swing Daddy, and it's the story of my dad and mom, how they met, and how we became a family. It's all about doing what you need to do to see it through. So I am hoping that if I play this backing track, it will work. or a college diploma, 2 or 3 years compared to a 4-year honors degree at a university. Usually, college programs have more practical, social service worker, child education, photography, or musical theater. Definitely preparation for work in a given field. What of the grade 11 students who have no idea what they want to study, where they want to go? What about students who say they want to finish high school and get out into the working world? Those students who can afford to take secondary programs need to make money before they pay college or university tuition, etc. Interestingly, the Ontario government has recently reduced the grant to students from 75% of the money available down to 25%, in the number of loans, student loans, 50%. Technical high schools and senior programs have been shuttered. Machine shops shut, electronic shop lab closed. There have been cooperative programs in senior high schools for years. Tell me about the working world. I was trying some area of work of interest to students. The co-op teacher collects job descriptions from employers who go with an opportunity, or may call shops in industries to see if they have a co-op on offer. Students may find their own part-time job and take it to the co-op teacher for approval. Employers fill out worksheets for the student and school. Students are paid for their work as they learn from it. Co-op students work for me and allow to skilled trades and apprenticeships. Although OYAP is run through a high school's co-op program, the brochure breaks down the differences. OYAP is a cooperative education experience in a skilled trades placement. OYAP is career-driven, career exploration, and career development in a skilled trade. Students learn the competencies and earn credits. They may go on to become a registered apprentice. The competencies they learn are from a skilled trades apprenticeship training standards logbook. Once a student graduates from high school as an apprentice, they continue their training following the standards set for that trade. The different skilled trades are called sectors. Carpenters, plumbers, electricians, machinists, there are 140 different sectors. From the OYAP brochure, 90% of apprenticeship is hands-on provided by employers at a work site. 10% of apprenticeship is in school at an approved training center, such as a union hall or college. 3 to 6 years is the average time to complete an apprenticeship. There's no cost to the employer to take on an apprentice, and they may terminate the agreement at any time. However, a co-op placement can become a paid apprenticeship, and that student may eventually become an employee and a journeyman in their trade. Canada needs construction trades in new homes. The federal government has given the provinces substantial money to support the development of apprenticeship programs. All the kinks are not worked out yet. Never mind. To become a machinist, he gained experience in many different tasks. Throughout the apprenticeship, he had to spend a couple of months away every year at college, which was paid for by the employer. Meanwhile, he was earning. A young woman completed a theater arts degree at university and worked as the sound and lighting technician at Buddies in Bad Times Theater in Toronto. Her interest in electronics grew, so she decided to apprentice as an electrician with a construction firm on a Toronto skyscraper. This was a few years ago, so you can imagine the harassment. There was only one washroom that she was allowed to use, and it was on the ground floor, for example. She became a master electrician, married now to a very handy man. They buy a home needing renovation, live in it, and when completely finished, they sell the home at a profit. So I started this talk with a salute to the Great Generation and how they survived the Great Depression. My grandfather went from lumberman to learning carpentry on the job to becoming a master carpenter and head of the Carpenters Union. My father was a musician until his upright bass was destroyed and then took the training to become an engineer on the New York Central Rail Line and eventually head of 5 union divisions. My father-in-law did the same on the C&O. I studied dance, apprenticed as a dance teacher, and performed. Then I got my dance degree, became a dance teacher, wrote dance curriculum, and passed my skills on to my students. When I could no longer dance, I turned to my songs and studied with songwriters and vocalists. All of these stories are about skilled trades. Now, we are talking about presenting skilled trades as a viable third option for high school students about to graduate who want to go into the world of work, bypassing academia for satisfactory jobs and earning money long before classmates who head for college or university. Prime Minister Mark Carney said, "We're building big in Canada. The Team Canada Strong Plan will recruit and train the skilled trades workers we need to get it done." An Ontario TV ad, maybe from the Progressive Conservative Party or the Premier's office, goes something like this: "Earn a living while building places to live in." So I haven't chosen the final song yet, and maybe it'll be Get a Job, but I have to get the license to play that backing track. But I do have a wonderful exercise for you. So I'll be passing around feedback sheets when I do this live. But until they're all passed out, please join me for this vocal exercise, which I learned from a dance company as they use vocals in their dance. So what it is you say me, may, my, mo, moo down the scale, and then you improv on the oo, letting your fingertips direct you. I'll give you an example. On your feet, please, if you can. Again, don't worry about what anyone else is doing. Just go with it. So it goes like this. It goes me, may, my, mo, moo, 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 me, may, my, mo, moo. Ooh, 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 Okay, thank you so much. Well, that took, it is now 1:55 or almost, and I started at 1:20, so that is 1:20 to 10 to, that's 35 minutes, and I probably went pretty fast. I'm going to somehow now relax it out to an hour, I hope, to fill the whole time that I might be given. Because I don't want to get into a question and answer thing at the end. I'd rather talk to people individually afterwards. So thank you so much if you came, and I have no idea whether this came through or not. I'm hoping it did. It took me a while. I've got another one to do at 3, but I'll just do that on Zoom, and and that's just for the group that's getting the credit, the certification in Keynote Concerts. I feel like I panicked and went through that really fast. So thank you so much for coming, and We'll see you another time. Bye-bye. I don't even know how to stop that. Oh, end stream, it says. There we go. End stream.